This is the Reinforce Your Gym podcast with your host, Dustin Vogel. This show is about arming gym owners with the tools, strategies, and lessons they need to take their business to the next level. That way, they can make a greater impact in their community. Now, let's get to work and reinforce your gym.
Hey, gym owners, welcome to another episode. I'm excited to tackle a big problem that a lot of gym owners are struggling with, and that is show rates, all right? Leads either not booking, or if they do book, they no show. Let's fix this forever. Let's get you the solutions, the tactics you need so that this problem doesn't haunt you anymore, all right? We're gonna talk about 7 reasons people are not booking with you, all right? They're opting in, they're seeing what you're writing, they're seeing the calls, but they're just completely cold shouldering you, all right? Let's talk about why that happens. Well, here's the truth, all right? I wanna set your expectations because that's where a lot of frustration comes from is you expect crazy things and it's just not realistic. So what is realistic for lead to sign up, all right? We're seeing about 10% is the baseline that a lot of gyms, so they're getting 100 leads, 10 are booking or buying a trial program. Another 20% come within 90 days. So you're getting 30% total purchases from your 100 leads. 70% are just really, I don't want to say they're not going to be a non-buyer. They're just in no hurry. There's no high amount of pain. And until you introduce some reason that they need to buy now, they'll buy later or they'll buy never. And so that's where follow-up comes into play. And a lot of the tactics we're going to talk about today. All right. So let's dive into these 7 reasons so that you can implement them and get your follow-up game dialed in. All right. Number 1, you're too slow. All right. I know this is probably pretty obvious. There's a lot of talk about speed to lead, but every minute that you wait, the person is cooling off, right? If you think of them as a raging inferno right when they opt in, well, as time goes on, water is being dropped on them and they are cooling off to the point where they're not even on fire anymore. They're just soaking wet. All right. And so here's the truth. You got to reach out to them as quickly as possible. We have seen the numbers. It's pretty staggering. Even in our dialer that we use, the difference of a sale happening when you call them within 5 minutes, within the first hour, within the same day, how much it drops off by day 3. And it's pretty much not even worth reaching out to them after a couple weeks. All right. And so we're just seeing it pretty much halves, right? If you got 10 people to buy on day 1, it goes to 5 people by day 2. It's down to 1 person by day 3, and it just keeps getting worse and worse, meaning you have to do more work to get an answer, to get a call, to get a sale. And so there's a lot of tricks you can do. Obviously, you can double dial. You can set up an AI bot to reach out to them. You know, like these are things that you can use now so that that speed is there for every single lead. And I would ask you, when's the last time you opted into your own website, your own ad, and saw what that timeline is? There's a hack on how you can even see what that time is. And if you're in Go High Level, which most gyms are these days, they actually timestamp from opt-in to when they get a message, right? Now you can use a delay that maybe you want it to be 3 minutes so that it doesn't seem so automatic, and that's a good thing. But if you see that there's an opt-in and they don't get a reply for 4 hours, well, that is a problem. So I would encourage you, go into your CRM, go through just the last 10 leads and look at the timestamp of opt-in and reach out. And that will give you the shake up that you probably need. All right. So that's reason number 1, just too slow, right? We're in the world of speed. People want things quickly. And if you are delaying that, that is the biggest thing fighting you from growing. All right. Reason number 2, you quit after 2 attempts. All right. Most gyms, they reach out twice and we've seen it. We've gone into the CRM. We're like, okay, what were they doing before they work with us? And we will do our due diligence. And we find out they're reaching out to leads twice and then stopping and saying these leads are no good. These leads are not motivated. Well, guys, that is fitness. You have to be prepared to push the boulder up the hill and fight people to get to the gym. That's why we have such an obese country. You got to fight people to get motivated and to sign up with you. You got to fight to get their attention because there's so many gyms. So yes, you have to be prepared to put in work. Nothing is going to be handed to you. And welcome to business, right? So 80% of sales happen between the 5th and the 12th contact, all right? Most people, when you give up at 2, you never even get to that 5. So you just lose so much sales. All right. And it breaks my heart because I know how many gyms can be more successful if they would just put this work in. They would just do more reach outs. And so the big mind block I know that shows up is they're like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to pester them. You don't understand. This person submitted their information to you. They said, I want more information. They're saying, I want you to get a hold of me. You didn't pull random phone numbers out of the yellow pages and just start dialing strangers. These are opt ins, these are good leads, right? So have a buy or die mentality until they say, yes, I want to buy, or not interested, leave me alone. You keep following up. All right. Obviously, there's a point where it's a waste of time, a waste of energy to keep doing it at an aggressive level, right? I feel like that first week it should be psycho. By week 2, you should be like kind of aggressive, and by week 3, you could say, okay, you're going to go into my long-term campaign. So that is reason number 2. You quit after 2 attempts. When they are saying, give me information, and you are just choosing to not give it to them, you are the block that's stopping your business from growing. All right. Reason number 3, unknown numbers with no voicemail. All right. Even if you got a local number, you might think it's the secret hack, but I can promise you, you probably don't pick up for phone numbers that you don't recognize. And when they don't leave a voicemail, you for sure not going to call that number back because you think it must have been a spam. It must have been a solicitor. It must have been a company. Like again, look at your own behavior before you point the finger at your paid marketing and blame it for it not performing, right? I want to ask you, going back to the last one, 2 attempts. Did you ever opt into something and buy immediately, right? When they sent you the link or sent you some information? No, you probably even saw them texting you and emailing you, and you probably ignored them, and you probably saw a call and you didn't pick up. And it's because you might be like, hey, I'm just looking right now. Like, hey, ease up, right? And so, like, if that's your style, that's probably what your clients are doing. So when you call and you leave no voicemail, do you call back phone numbers that don't leave a voicemail, right? That you don't recognize? No. So rule number 1, always leave a voicemail. Identify yourself. I even leave a voicemail and I send a text, and that way they can know what this number is and save it in their phone. You can even prompt them to save it. You can say, hey, this is Dustin with XYZ Fitness. Go ahead and save this in your contact. That way you know next time I reach out to you. But I was reaching out because you opted in for this program, right? So sound happy, sound enthusiastic. I can't tell you how many times I listen in to gym owners' voicemails and they sound dead as a doornail. Hey, what's up? It's Coach Dustin. I was just calling back. Hit me up when you get a chance. Who wants to call that guy back, right? Like, sound happy, sound enthusiastic, sound like you are excited to change people's lives. I hope you are, right? But that is the key to making voicemails work is, first of all, make it sound like a pleasant voicemail, then send a text right after identifying who you were. Here's the last key that I've found to be so helpful. Whenever someone says, can you give me a call back or call me back at this number? Most people are not. They don't want to call you back. When you direct them to carry the conversation somewhere else, that is a secret hack that works well. So if you say, hey, I just sent you an email with details about the program, can you go read that and get back to me there? Or, hey, I just sent you a text, reply and let me know I have the right number, and then I'll send you some information. That is a lower ask to say, hey, can you just write with me via email or text versus, hey, can you call me back? Because a lot of times people don't call you back because they don't know what we're going to talk about. There's really just no expectation. So they just feel uncomfortable and they don't do it, right? So that's number 3, guys. Don't call someone and then not leave a voicemail, all right? Not only should you leave a voicemail, you should also text or email them as well. All right. Gym owners, I don't want you to have the reputation in town as the gym that doesn't call people back. All right. We know it's critical when someone's finally made a decision to get healthy and fit that we get to them as quickly as possible. This can be solved by plugging in our remote sales reps. Okay. It's not AI. It's not a bot. It's a real human that's working on your leads, the new ones that come in from your ads and the old leads in your database. And they're there to qualify the leads, to ask them discovery questions and to make sure they're a good fit. And then their job is to move them forward in your sales process so that you get more members month over month. All right. If you want to learn about our remote sales reps, go ahead and go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call, and we'll tell you more about it. See you then. Let's move on. Number 4, your texts read like a robot. You sound too corporate, and this is from a lot of owners who are leveraging AI. It writes really long responses. You got to prompt it to say, hey, I want you to be concise. I want you to sound human. I want you to be conversational. when it says, hello, this is Dustin with XYZ Fitness. We're excited about this program. Do you want more details? Like, it sounds very canned. It sounds very templated. And so, like, again, write like a human, right? Like, write how you talk with your friends. Be conversational. Use emojis. Have fun. Um, People want to buy from people, and they don't want it to be too corporate. And I found that to be a huge unlock when we redid our workflows, we redid how our AI talks, and we're just like, hey, nothing, not two messages in a row should not be like, hey, first name, this is first name, because that's not how normal people text with each other, right? They write very loose, right? And they write very informal. And that made a big change in our conversations and how many texts get a reply. All right. So that's reason number 4. We're going to move on to reason number 5, selling the membership instead of the appointment. I get it. We're excited. We want EFT. We want to get them in. We want to get them on a 12-month program. We want to change their life. But we're kind of jumping ahead of ourselves. All right. We're going for the wedding ring before we've even got on a date. And so I've seen gyms even run an ad for memberships, and no one wants to commit to a membership. The only caveat I say it might be your grand opening founding memberships because it's this exciting new thing. You're coming to town and it's rock bottom pricing. But when that passes, it is very difficult to send cold traffic to a membership offer, right? You're asking for a 12-month commitment, and I haven't even exchanged like words with you vocally. You're just clicking an ad, right? Like realize how big of an ask that is to the coldest traffic. And so we brag a lot about the membership and not about what they're going to get an outcome at the appointment, right? So when a lead asks you what's the cost, we'll see people dump their pricing. We got 6, we got 12, we got month to month. Here you go, here you go. And they'll just unleash it, but we like to deflect, right? And so we don't want to avoid it. We just want to say, great question. I really can't give you a price because I don't know what you actually need. It depends what level of service. Do you need one-on-one training? Do you need group? Are you going to train at home some days and have like a hybrid program? It's probably best that we book an appointment, we talk it through. So logically they can make sense of why the next step is to talk, not to just text, they will go forward with you and they'll book a call. But if you just say, here's our 3 prices, which one looks good to you, then you're training them to go price shop. They're like, oh, got it. Now let's go do this with 3 other gyms and find the best price, right? So you want to really figure out ways to deflect it. Now, if someone asks me twice, that's where I just say it can range from this to that, and I'll pick my lowest to my highest. But then that also tells me that that's the most important thing to them. So then I will follow up with, if you're looking for the lowest price gym, I just want you to know that's not us. But if you want to get proven results, you've came to the right place. Boom, works like a charm, right? And a lot of times they'll be honest, they're like, actually, I'm looking for the cheapest gym. And then I will do the redirect to that. I'll say, perfect, Planet Fitness is down the street. I heard it's $15 a month, right? We're a personal training studio, so we operate a little bit differently. Here's another thing. A lot of gym owners, they really get annoyed by this, but realize, guys, you kind of have to put on your education hat with every single lead. Most people don't know all the niche trainings and models within fitness. They just think a gym is a gym. They think a YMCA is the same as Planet Fitness, as a boot camp, as a semi-private training gym. They just hear gym. And we're in this world, so we got to realize, when do we got to get out of our heads and into their heads, right? And what is the language that they use? They just say gym. We know all these subcategories. We know that there's CrossFit, we know there's Zumba, and there's powerlifting, but they don't. They just think a gym is a gym. So sometimes you got to stop and check your ego and educate them and say, are you looking for a personal training gym, or are you looking for an open gym that's really budget friendly? You could just do your own thing without any guidance, right? You almost want to make it sound bad, and yours is really good. Yeah, we're a higher price, but everyone here's got a custom plan. They're getting results. They got a trainer that knows their name. Which one are you looking for? And you kind of let them shop. And if they want the cheapest, let them go get the cheapest, right? You just avoided booking an appointment with someone who's never going to buy from you anyway. All right, so that's reason number 5, guys. Selling the membership, not the appointment. And again, taking some time and educating the lead. All right, let's go to reason 6. Nobody owns lead nurture. All right. It's kind of like this shared pool kind of dynamic where everybody, like, hey, everybody here helps with follow up. I call that hot potato sales, because like I get a lead and I throw it to the other coach. The coach takes it and throws it to the manager. The manager takes it, throws it back to the owner, and we're all trying to hot potato it. Do you think that's a good client experience? Do you think they can feel that we're disorganized? can you guess that they probably feel like we are not sharing notes and we're all asking the same question and now they're frustrated that 3 times they've been asked, what's your fitness goal? Right? So like this is the problem with hot potato sales and why no one owns it, no one owns it, right? And so when follow up is everybody's job, it's nobody's job, is the other way to say it. So you want one name to come from the team from start to finish, from like, hello, nice to meet you to welcome aboard. One name should be responsible for that, right? Like that person. Now, can they be introduced to someone like, hey, like I'm Dustin. I reached out to you, but here's Coach Sarah. She's going to give you a great workout. Then you come back to Dustin. Dustin talks to you about membership at the front desk. Like that's how you can kind of like hand it off. But there's one owner who gets that to the finish line. Because here's the thing, guys, when you're not happy with your sales, who do you hold accountable? When you do hot potato sales, who's in trouble for not hitting their sales quota? Who's responsible for us not having a good closing percentage, right? You can't hold that accountable. It's like trying to grab smoke. So that is the 6th reason that your leads don't book. And then the 7th and final one is you're not tracking your numbers, your speed rate, your show rate. Most owners are really operating off of emotion. They just say ads don't work, but they don't really have any data. They're not making a data-driven decision. And so this is a few things. Like I said, inside of Go High Level, there is a way to track your speed to reaching out, your call speed. So when do they opt in? When do they get a reach out? Look at the difference there, right? And realize, is it 5 minutes or not? What is your contact rate? Which means if I give you 100 leads, how many do you get in contact with? They reply to your text, they pick up the phone. It's probably somewhere around 30%, let's call it, you actually get in contact with. Then of those, how many book, right? How many people book? We're seeing, again, somewhere between 20 to 35% of total leads. Or every 100, you're getting 20 to 35. And then how many of those show? We want to be at 70% show rate with a good lead follow-up process, right? And so these are just 4 numbers that I'm giving you. My question is, do you even know those numbers, right? What's your speed to lead number? What's your contact rate? What's your booking rate? And what's your show rate? If you don't know, this is another reason. You don't know where to add firepower. You don't know where to go and deploy solutions because you don't know which one's broken, right? So you got to know your numbers, all right? So guys, if you need help with this, we would love to help you out. We have outbound callers at Gym Reinforcements that do the dirty work that you probably don't want to do. Like a lot of people can pick up the phone when there's an inbound, but how many people are willing to hit 50 dials a day? I'm waiting, right? Like most gym owners and most coaches don't want to do that. They don't want to do the outbound call. So that's what makes our call center unique. It's not just about picking up the phone when a phone number is calling, when a new lead comes in and we give it 5-minute speed to lead, but we're also doing 50 dials a day, right? So you got the 5-minute speed to lead for your new leads, and then you got the batch of leads that have come in recently being called, and we call them pretty much consistently for 2 weeks every day, right? And so those scripts are well crafted, not only the call scripts, but the text scripts that I personally wrote to make sure that they work well for you. That's what we bring to the table at Gym Reinforcement. So again, I gave you free game. If you want to fix it yourself, just, again, take this, feed the transcript to Claude, say, give me a game plan, boom, there you go. But if you want us to come in and do it for you, it's time to call in the reinforcements, all right? So somewhere on this video, you'll see a button to book a call. Do it now so we can get in there and we can create some major change and you can create more impact in your community and also make more money along the way. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Hey, gym owners, let's face it. You probably don't love digital marketing. You probably don't want to go into Facebook and load the ad up and think of ad copy and creatives and optimize it daily. Well, hand that over to me and my team because we're geeks about marketing and we want to flood your gym with new members so you can change their life. Let us do what we do best. All right, go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call. Don't bring the credit card. It's not a hard pitch. It's just a conversation to see if we're a good fit. Talk soon.